So somebody said to do a review of the PlayStation State of Play. Now, I have to say, my fellow gamers, sometimes you all forget that I'm a PC gamer at heart. I've already positioned my gaming in a way that suits me. I'm usually a subversive person. When I see a paradigm, if it just looks weird, I will upend it. I spent my time doing it to PlayStation, I did it to Xbox, and I showed everybody that the market is not special in both console areas. All of them are looking for money and growth, and I proposed that PlayStation should come to PC all the way back in 2018 because I saw the market growing and I realized that it was only a matter of time that PC gaming eventually stood on the map. Now, was I certain? Not really. I was just doing what I wanted to do as a gamer and I moved to PC. So when I look at a State of Play or a summer event from Xbox or whatever, all I see is a state of Multi-Plat where all these games are going to be showing up on PC for my playing pleasure. And that's just the reality. I'm reaping the rewards of the investment that I made to be a PC gamer. It was not easy. I had to abandon my PlayStation library, which is pretty much my second biggest library of games that I've ever had or owned or had access to. So making that choice, I'm waiting now, and it took a while to get here. But here's the thing. Even though I may have that particular position, I try to look at the gaming industry from the perspective of where things are. And over the last few months, I've been thinking about how Xbox has been approaching the market, and I've begun to see what their genius is. Because right now, as I've basically tagged this PlayStation State of Play as State of Multi-Plat, I can tell you with what I found, PlayStation is where Xbox was 8 years ago in the software game. Believe it or not. We've been looking at this on the Video Game Fight School channel. I think this is the one channel where we actually talk about the Steam best of 2017 through 2023 and 2024. There's a reason we talk about it, because those years, Steam was the place where Xbox could go put its games and make money while they were getting bodied by PlayStation. Xbox was basically launching its games day and date on Steam and was able to make money, keep its studios open while PlayStation was winning. I saw a comment that somehow maybe misconstrued my pointing to factual data as me being an Xbox fan, and they said some really interesting things. I had to go back and make this video again because I almost cussed this, commenter out in my last version of the video. And so I said, okay, hold on. This is kind of weird, but let me see what's going on. They said your videos are not making Xbox gamers or the ones who now have giving up feel any better. I don't care. I really don't care. You have to understand that the very first community that actually did, butt heads with was the Xbox community. Believe it or not. I point out the PlayStation, hyper fans, but it was the Xbox fans that first got into it. The moment I looked and said Xbox needed to go day one with its games because now that they have Activision, it's a software play and they needed to replicate it for all their games. That was my very first stance on what they should be doing with their games in terms of Multi-Plat. Now, as for PlayStation, they had already established a PC pipeline with day one for live service and even their other games coming to PC later. I just said they needed to make it, similar and go day one with all their PC launches as they're doing with their consoles because it's going to give them the most sales. And I butted head when I made that claim with Starfield, when I made that claim when they were talking about bringing Hi-Fi Rush to PC and Pentiment and all these games. And I said they're wasting time. They need to bring the other big guns over there. And Xbox fans, they went after me. They were like, dude, it doesn't make our platform look, unique. And I said, guys, your platform was not unique 8 years ago because then PlayStation was beating your console into the ground and your own guy, Phil Spencer, looked and said, we're going to go out of business and I'm not going to let that happen on my watch. And so he pivoted quickly to PC to start raking in money, and his studios, they stayed open. Like they didn't go underground. They didn't get like literally, financially 100% anyways carried by Xbox from what I'm seeing and from seeing their games show up on the Steam Best of 2019. Like if you go look at Steam Best of 2019, 2017, 2018, you're going to see at least one Xbox game chilling in that particular, list. And this is not the Bethesda games. I'm not even talking about the Bethesda games. I'm talking about Xbox Studios games. And so now I see PlayStation doing the exact same thing. I'm like, it's only a matter of time. They're going to get to the exact same spot. Why? Their competitor has run ahead of them. Out of an unfortunate situation, they were able to find gold. So when you say this, I couldn't be bothered. I'm just pointing out what the industry is doing. So when you say Sony will continue to be Sony and only put their games on PC, they will never do what Microsoft is doing. You're clearly unaware of how much Sony has actually shifted in the past. Let me give you an example of never and how never backfires. Are you ready, Mr. Commenter in the comment section? Number one, Herman Holst, March 10th, 2020, when Horizon Zero Dawn was coming to PC. Herman Holst is cited as saying this in his remarks. He said, just because one AAA game is going to PC doesn't mean that every other game is now going to come to PC. He said it right here. Look at it. And to maybe put a few minds at ease, releasing one first-party AAA title to PC doesn't necessarily mean that every game will now come to PC. And we know that that is no longer the case. So PlayStation has pivoted. Not only did he pivot from that, he then came out later and said that only live service games will go to PC day one. Do you see that? And then even after that, after he said that, MLB The Show launched on Xbox. Everything changed so fast for him that it was so weird to go. It's so weird to go back and look at that particular statement. Let me show you another example of never. Okay? Once upon a time, Insomniac said that Marvel Spider-Man will never appear on Xbox or PC. They said so. Right? Look at it. It will never appear on Xbox or PC. It's a permanent PS4 exclusive in June of 2017. So when you say PlayStation will never do what Xbox is doing, I'm like, no, PlayStation has already started doing what Xbox is doing. Okay? So now maybe you might say, well, in the so-called level of games, it's only a matter of time. I mean, do you have Halo on PlayStation? Okay, good. Do you have a freaking, what's the name, Gears of War on PlayStation? Okay. Now, when you start seeing the big names show up, then you know for sure the other names are coming. I think here's the signal. This is something a lot of people don't really know on the internal side, or I think people are not aware of. I think, and this is my thinking, that Phil Spencer is using a weight-to-weight tactic, or kind of a cost-benefit tactic. Say like a live service game, let it go, make money on PlayStation. But like in terms of brand names, I think they're using a weight-to-weight tactic. You're going to hear Gears of War or Halo announced when there is in the pipeline a PlayStation game that is big that's coming to Xbox. That's when I think you're going to hear it. That's my thinking. How are they going to know? Well, when they start actually getting paperwork in place to publish on Xbox or get a game into Xbox, they'll get wind of it. They'll know. That's how I think it's going to happen. I don't think Phil's going to go dump everything on PlayStation just yet, but anything that's strategic, that's a live service thing, and if it happens to be Halo, then so be it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a money play, right? So you said they'll never do that, what Microsoft is doing, which is throw away their identity onto a competitor's console. No, it's your identity they threw away. That's the problem that we have here. And I have to say it, guys. You had your identity tied to the brand, and you're disappointed that identity, they took it and they shattered it because they needed to basically keep their staff and keep their studios and maintain their corporate position. That's it. You should have known. You've learned a very valuable lesson. These corpos don't care about you. That's the valuable lesson that you've learned. This is why, like I've told everyone, you need to get yourself a gaming PC. Like the next generation of consoles, as they're shipping them, you should be worried about getting a PC. Do not even bother looking at those consoles. They have nothing to offer you that PC is not going to offer better. And I know everyone's going to say, well, PC is so complicated. It's so expensive. It's so this. But these questions have all been answered over the course of many videos. You can go on YouTube and actually do good research before you come to that conclusion. And if you say a PC is not the thing for you, I can understand. I'm just saying that rather than somebody thinking that I'm an Xbox fan, I want you to know today that I could not be bothered with these consoles. You said Microsoft turned their community into cucks, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I tried to not say stupid in 2 iterations of the video, but man, you just keep getting it out of me. Why would you turn the fact that people can play other games into a slur? These exclusivists are a problem in the gaming industry. They are the kind of people that will tank a game. They're the people that prefer that Marvel Spider-Man 2 be exclusive to PlayStation, even at the cost or at the behest of Insomniac staff losing their jobs. Yes, Insomniac was pressuring, its own people. Well, sorry, PlayStation was pressuring Insomniac and other places to go ahead and lay off some of their workers. Why? Because Spider-Man 2's cost was insane. So you want Xbox to maintain some identity that appeals to you based on your identity. It's your own ego. While their own staff starve and be jobless on the side of the road is what you want to fulfill your list wars. Well, it's not about you. And so I'm glad you finally figured that out. Go to PlayStation where they will pretend like it's about you, but in reality, they're going to go drop it on PC real quick because you're the only one that's, one of the few that's buying those games. Y'all aren't buying it like Nintendo. So the so-called state of play, guys, is basically state of the industry. That's what it is. If you were wondering what my review was, you were like, man, I thought you were going to do a state. No, it's state of the industry. All these games, I was looking at them and I was like, oh, which one is PlayStation exclusive here? I couldn't find the game. They are remastering Days Gone. This is the PlayStation you said has an identity. They're remastering a game that I just bought and I haven't even fired the game up yet. I just literally got this game on sale. It was $10. I played a little bit of it back in the when they made it a part of the PlayStation collection after you bought a PS5, and they were like, here are all these games. And now they already have a remaster that's got like extra content and stuff. People thought it was a joke. It was a meme at one point. Oh, they're gonna remaster this. This is the company that you said has an identity, remastering all their games, while Xbox is bludgeoning them in live service, and all their talking heads want to come make videos and saying, well, they could have made a live service game, but they executed it wrong. The studio that canceled the sequel to Days Gone is remastering the first game for you. And somehow that is a value that you like. Okay, you are a conformist. And honestly, I don't know if I mean that in a bad way or a good way, if I'm just identifying what I see. But you seem to like to basically conform to what a corpo is going to do that you think benefits you. And if you think that's great, then that's fine. But I am not like that. And I am the opposite of that. And so you and I were going to basically see things differently. But I will always at least try to position in front of you what the market is doing to make that. And I like market forces because they're subversive. That's why I like economics. Because you do all this shiny little stuff and you put all this stuff in place. And then the market comes in and upends it. This is the reason I like the market. It shakes things up. You know what I mean? Consumers are part of the market. Sometimes they look at a game, especially in today's day and age, consumers are just looking for a reason to not even buy your game. They're just like, try me. They're holding their wallets going, you just do something dumb. You just do something silly. And these companies are now walking on eggshells. Back in the day, they were like, you're going to love it. We're going to patch it day one. Now people are like, nah, bro, we'll wait till you sell it for $9 and we'll buy it. Why? Because we have a backlog of everything. So again, let's understand that the industry is not here for the pedantic console war. That's dead. Your so-called identity you tie to a box, it's gone. You should be on a platform because of whatever that platform offers you in terms of your gaming, your entertainment, your value proposition. Anything else, as in to the point where you go buy a t-shirt for it, it better be a meme. If not, you're asking for a big world of disappointment. Perhaps I'll take some time to individually assess the games and assess the trailers, but I wanted to go ahead and deal with this because this is already like getting super weird. So many fanboys and console warriors. It's so weird, man. Y'all need to go play games. Enjoy yourself. Jeez. Peace out.